Welcome back to Miranda's Cauldron. But this will not be a writing sprint. Today, in honor of the full moon that was through the night, that it is time for a tarot stream. Will it be the Lightseer deck, the Witch's deck, the Cats, or the Gilded? I have a few others, but those are my main ones. So let's see. Is anybody here? It doesn't seem like it. The little eye is showing me 0. But that's okay because I need to do this just as much as I want to. First of all, did anybody get to see the blood moon last night? It was kind of, shall we say, uncooperative for me last night. It was a combination of fog and cloudy. I was awake about 11:30ish, and I did see the moon, and it wasn't full, so I'm guessing it was going into the eclipse section or procedure or the flow or whatever you want to call it. And then when I woke up again about 12:30, I couldn't even see it. It was just dark. So yeah, another cloudy eclipse for me. I'm going to start with the session with a Moonology card. This is just from the Oracle deck. I'm not going to even look into the Manifestation deck because I used it quite a lot the last few weeks for myself. So I am just going to switch to the Oracle. And if anyone should happen to pop in and would like a reading of your own, there are the 4 different decks that I use. I also have not the original, but the Y Rider Rate card, pocket size. My daughter used that quite a lot when she was younger. I think that might have been my first or second deck that I bought. And also, if you're a Buffy fan, I happen to have a Buffy deck as well. And if you happen to pop in during the replay and you would like a reading up for your own, just put it in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Okay, so this is the Oracle Moonology card that I'm going to draw. It is Have Faith in Your Dreams, Waxing Crescent Moon. Very fitting for me because I have been writing, it seems like, for decades. However, I know it hasn't been decades. It might have been the last 15 years. So I guess it's almost a decade and a half or so. Have I published anything yet? No. Have I given up on my dreams to be a writer? No. Because I write whenever I can. It can be every day. It might not be. Sometimes I just don't feel like putting the paper to pencil. So I veg in front of the TV or I read all day. Let's see what the guidebook has to say to give us a little bit more insight on that waxing crescent moon. Let's see. Void, cardinal, fix, supermoon, blue moon, south. I guess I skipped it. It should be in the section though. I am just going to have to scroll through, as they say, and find it. Full moon eclipse. That's interesting since there was one. Let's just, even though we didn't draw the card, let's just see what it says. Attuned to the moon. That which is meant for me will not pass me by. Additional meanings for this card. Excuse me. Doors were shut now, will not reopen. It's time for you to get back on track. Interesting. Since I am line editing, not rewriting, I have to remind myself that no, I am not rewriting. I am just changing the little things like, how did that extra word get into that sentence? These two sentences are practically the same. I guess I didn't delete one the last time I revised. Forgiveness will set you free of karma. Interesting. But I'm still looking for that waxing crescent moon. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot altogether. Maybe it's in the front of the book. Let's see. No, I cannot find it. Why can't I find it? Well, I'm not going to worry about it because I spent too much time looking it up in the book that I can't even find it. Okay, so the next card I'm going to do is the animal spirit card. Do you have a favorite animal? I have a few. Besides, of course, cats and dogs. I'm also drawn to wolves, just because, and all the wildcats. But lately, I'm also drawn to dragonflies and owls. The dragonfly, probably because the last summer I was with both my parents and my siblings and their children and my children, all at mom and dad's. Surprisingly enough, they have lived in that house for 52 years, 53 years, something like that. Me, on the other hand, my husband and I, we've moved quite a lot. We've even moved to 3 different provinces. And when we live in Alberta, our son in particular, he went to not one different school. He went to 3 different schools from kindergarten to grade 10. His now wife, on the other hand, because her parents have never moved. And it's different when you live in rural Saskatchewan. You literally have one school for kindergarten all the grade to grade 12. And they even have a preschool at that school. So if you go to preschool, which is basically just glorified babysitting, you are there for an extra year. Okay, so I shuffle the cards. I'm going to let's pick 2 animals today. The peacock. Wonder what the peacock has to say. Maybe you're a little bit of a prepper and not in the end of the world type prep, but maybe more of a primer, like you've got to look your best all the time and that kind of stuff. But let's see what it says for the peacock. Oh, yes. So when we were all back, we would go for walks down the abandoned train tracks. We would be bombarded by dragonflies. And maybe peacocks are not flight birds. Maybe they are more of the earth, like the panther and that. But I can't see it in there either. Wish they would have these alphabetical order within. Actually, the little image, each card also has a little triangle with the image of if it's earth, air, fire, water. And it says it's air. So let me just go back into the air section and see if I can find it. Here we go. Inner beauty. Isn't it supposed to be the peacock is supposed to be one of the most beautiful birds because of the wings and their coloring? Compassion, assimilator of anything. When in balance, confidence, kind. When out of balance, can't digest situations. To bring back into balance, meditation. Interesting. Let's see what the next one is. Starfish. One of my characters in Witches of Solace, she's a water witch, but she doesn't know it quite. Didn't know it until later in the book. But she was always drawn to seashells and starfishes. And one of the first times we get to meet Alexis is in a coffee shop owned by the, let's just say, the local witch. Everyone thinks she's a little unique because she lives on her own in this huge Victorian house, stone fence. Of course, the villagers know that her parents and her grandparents also lived there. And now she lives there all alone. Starfish. Beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. Huh. Interesting. When in balance, uplifting artistic expression. When out of balance, gossips feel empty to bring into balance positive friends. So I guess the positive friends will kind of outdo the feeling empty and maybe you'll gossip less? It's kind of strange. Okay, so let's do the Lightseer deck. And this card flipped over, so you know what that means. King of Swords. I keep getting these kings and queens and knights and pages. The knights and pages, I can remember the keywords for those two. The kings and queens are a little different. Of course, obstacle is for the knight. And I will say, considering that surrounding this King of Sword, which is, he seems rather young. He's definitely not an old mentor. He's a younger one. With a bat, I'm thinking a raven because it's pretty big, and an owl. And even feathers on his arm. And a dragonfly. So I'm going to go with just instincts. Is the owl is for wisdom and messages. The raven's also really good for messages. But let's see what the book says. Okay, we're almost there. We've got the page and the knight and the queen and the king. The Lightseers. Intelligence, logic, clear thinking, a strong communicator, and a leader. Bravery and courage. On the shadow side, showing off your intelligence can indicate a rigidness of thinking, tendencies to over-control. So maybe one of the obstacles is an overbearing, over-control man in your life. Maybe you are the over-control. That's the shadow side. And the little manifestation is I make intelligent and wise decisions about my future. So that is that card. Still pretty quiet. I'm going to draw a moon. And sorry, not a moon card. A stone card. Let's see. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So the stone and crystal of the card. Some of these stones and crystals in this deck I do have. Some of them I don't. Some of them I've never even heard of. So let's see what this one's going to do. This one's kind of sticking out, so let's stick to this one. And another rock crystal I've never heard of. It's pretty. Here's a picture of it. I'm going to guess this word. Orpiment for success. Let's also draw another card. Okay, it doesn't want to stick into that little holder. It's going to shuffle. And I'm going to draw one more card. And here you go. And this one is kind of upside down, I think, because it looks different than the rest. And I have lots of these. Selkite. calcite relaxation. And it comes in different colors. I don't have one handy enough that I can grab. No, I don't. Well, if I drew an amethyst, I'd have lots of those. Howlites? Yeah, I have a few of those. Citrine? Lots of those. Okay, so that's for that one. And I'm going to draw one more here. And that'll be it. Because if no one's here, I usually stay about 15 minutes. And then I just pack up my cards and do something else. And I'm thinking I probably should do some editing for the next few hours. But who knows? It's pretty windy and miserable out there. I know I don't want to go outside. Okay, so I'm going to draw this card. I'm going to draw 2 cards, just like I did for the shadow cards. The animal cards. 9 of Swords. Of course, obstacles and hardships. Looks like she's pretty much had enough. She's overwhelmed. She's exhausted. She just has her hand on one sword. So maybe that's a reminder of you can do it. Just keep plugging along, one sword at a time. Also, it could be like since it's 9, you're at the end of it. And G, what do we have here? The Queen. Queen of Cups. Everybody who reads tarot or knows that cups is for emotions. So is there a woman? Are you the woman? It's a little emotional right now. Yeah, let's see what the book says. And I do not bring the book over. So I'm going to have to just reel back and get the proper book. So let's do the cups first because I just happened to open up to the cups. And we've got the Queen. Keyword. Dedication. A loving wife and mother. A natural witch or talented psychic. Reflection. Emotional healing. So maybe there's a reason why you're a little emotional. Maybe you're doing it to heal. Like I know I had to do some emotional healing this morning. Crying and talking to myself and even a little yelling. It helps. Okay, so going right into the swords and the 9 of Swords. Drama queen, psychic, or emotional vampire or victim. Baneful magic returned to its sender times 3. Well, there is 9. That makes sense. When it turns up in a reading, it symbolizes a person who is always having a crisis or causing drama in social situations. And they may be an emotional or psychic vampire, or they themselves could be the willing victim of such an attack. It also symbolizes that you are the end of the problem. Things have reached their peak and should begin to settle down. I, for one, hope so. Oh, it looks like there's somebody here. At least the little eye says someone's here. Let's see if they'll actually make a comment. Pop in, say hello. However, it has been 20 minutes. And I would really like to put in a couple hours of editing before the kids. I guess you can call them supervise. Sometimes I feel like they're warden, if you know what I mean. Anywho, I am going to go now. Thank you for popping in. My normal regular sprinting sessions will be on Monday this week and Thursday, noon Eastern. I have to do up those thumbnails and scheduling for that week. And I believe that might be the last one this month. I will have to check because we have a family function at the end of the month. So I know I won't be streaming on that Thursday, but probably that Monday. We'll see. So keep an eye around Miranda's Cauldron to see what's happening. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.